Hello, 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 my dear students. How have you been? Hello,
Fine.
hello. Good, good. Well,
Good.
excellent, guys. Well, today we're going to continue with the class, guys, and we're going to study another application of the percentage of any number. In the last class, actually, if you remember, we learned what will be the proportion of the percent, and we study a few applications. For example, what will be the percent of any number, and also what is the percent change of any quantity will be increased or could be increased.
Y-
Now
In
is,
the last class, we were checking the classwork.
yeah, in the last class, yesterday we checked in the classwork, but I'm saying that the last class, the last December, the last lesson before the classwork, when we're talking about the percent of the number. And if you remember, we learned how to calculate the percent change of the number. That's supposed to be the final quantity minus the initial quantity divided by the initial quantity. And we established when we have the final quantity is greater than the initial quantity, the percent of change will be positive. If the opposite, the final quantity is less than initial quantity, the percent of change will be negative. So that reason this will to be decreasing. Today, my dear students, we're going to learn one singular application that will be useful in the entire life. It doesn't matter what kind of career you're going to study because everyone studied, you want to have the or business or simply you want to go working with somebody else. You have to try to looking for or taking care of your money, your savings, right? In this opportunity, when we're talking about the simple and compound interest. We're going to obviously the first thing we're going to learn is how to apply the simple interest formula, and after that, how we can apply the compound interest formula. This application is so useful. For example, if you want to save the money at the bank, and you're going to learn how much money you're going to take in 5 years, or saving in 5 years, 10 years, and so on. Or if you want to take a loan, well, some loan is a quantity, some kind of quantity of money you really need to spend obviously to improve your business or taking a good new project. Okay, you're going there, the bank borrows some kind of money and you have to paint that quantity of money for one singular interest rate. It could be a simple interest rate or compound interest rate. For that reason, we really need to know what will be the difference between principal and interest. As soon as you can read in the whiteboard, the amount of money earned or paid for use of the money, this is we call interest. This is like extra money. And the amount of money that you're going to deposit or borrowed is the principal. For example, if you have the principal of 2,000 lempiras, 2,000 lempiras, and you want to really want to invest in an account who's paid 5% interest rate, simple interest rate in 2 years, well, the product of that percentage of money, the extra quantity of money, this is what we call the interest. Okay, we're going to learn how to calculate this in simple interest formula. You're going to determine how much money you're going to have in 1 year, 2 years, 10 years, and so on. And for that situation, we have the simple interest formula where well, actually, the name is the alphabet Greek. This is we call iota, iota. Iota, no idiota, iota, iota, así como el huracán Iota del año pasado, equals PRT, where iota represents the simple interest, P represents the principal, R represents the annual interest rate, and T represents the time in years. Could be 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, and so on. Actually, this is one of the simplest topics because the application we are applying this kind of situation in every part of the life. Okay, let me show you or let me solve you a couple examples, and you're going to see this is a so useful application in your entire life. Okay, all right, the first example. Um, the first example that we got, the example number one, says a $1,000 bond, a $1,000 bond earns a 6% simple annual interest. Earns 6% simple annual interest. The question is, what is the interest earned earned after 4 years? All right. This is the first word problem they're going to have in this situation because it's applications. So the most of these problems will be word problems. What we have to do, we're going, the first thing before to use the formula, we must to identify what will be the values. For example, this $1,000 represents the principal because it's the quantity of money you're going to receive, deposit, bond, something like that. In this case, you receive a bond of $1,000. This is going to be the principal, $1,000. All right. And the problem mentioned earns 6% simple annual interest. So the rate is given by 6%. Okay. And the question is, what is the interest earned? We don't know the interest after 4 years. Remember, the letter T represents the period in time given in years. Okay. PRT, and we are looking for I. What we're going to do? Simple. The only thing that we have to do is copy the formula. Iota equals PRT, and we're going to replace those values. The principal, as soon as you can see, is $1,000. The interest rate, 6%. Remember, if you really want to, at the moment when to apply the letter R, we are not using the percentage notation. We have to rewrite this percentage as the decimals. It's simple. If you want to change this percentage in decimal, the only thing that we have to do is divide the number divided by 100. And if you divide 6 divided by 100, the result will be 0.06. Okay. And the period of time, that will be 4 years. Okay. And the result will be the interest rate. We have to multiply 1,000 times 0.06 times 4. The answer will be $240.
So the only thing we need to do is multiply,
Yeah, multiply
divide the
the rate.
earned and the rate and the interest and multiply
Exactly.
it by the years.
Exactly.
That's
The
it.
Sir, can
years.
you do another example because I don't understand?
Of course, this is the first one. This is only the number one. And you're right, Esteban. The only thing that you have to do is divide the interest rate. 6 divided by 100, 0.06, multiplied by the number of years and by the principal. It will be $1,000. And don't worry, we're going to do another example. This is only the first one. This is just the beginning. Okay, just hold on a second. Let me looking for a second example. Okay. Sorry. Let me set up the camera, move the camera a little bit downward. All right, better. Okay, the example number 2. All right, in the example number 2 says, Miguel buys $1,500 bond, okay? earns 4%, sorry, simple interest per year. Simple interest per year. The question is, period. How much will it receive? How much will it earn? Sorry, it earn in interest after 2 years. Okay. Miguel buys 1,500 bonds earning 4% simple interest rate per year. And the question is, what will be the interest, all right, after 2 years? In simple, merely words. All right, what is the principle? Is the quantity of money you're going to start to work in this situation. This case, 1,500 bonds. Dollars, sorry, in bonds. This is what we call the principle. All right. The rate, obviously, will be the percentage. That will be 4%. And the letter T represents the quantity of years. If you read the problem, after 2 years, mention the problem. So the letter T represents 2 years. And the question is, how much will it earn in interest after 2 years? They're asking for what will be the simple interest rate. Okay, this is going to be the data. Let's going to copy the equation with the formula once again. Iota equals PRT, where the letter P represents the principal, R represents the interest rate, and T represents the quantity of years. Okay, what will be the principal? 1,500. Exactly. This is multiplied by the interest rate, but we won't copy 4. Before to do that, this percentage must be divided by 100. Remember,
It will be 0.04.
Exactly, will be 0.04. Perfect.
So we need to divide it in what?
That this
take it?
percentage divided by 100. Remember, they will divide by 100 because we're talking about the percentage, right? So we are changing the letter percentage by a rate because we are using the letter P like a principal. And if you're using twice P, you're going to get confused. Hey, this P is principal or percentage, right? For that reason, we're changing the letter. Instead to use percentage, we're using the rate. And that will be 0.04. And you're right. And the period of time will be 2, that represents 2 years, right? And this quantity of money will be 1,500.
120.
120. So 120 $20. If you compare the last lesson of the percentage of numbers with this lesson, you're going to conclude this is a piece of cake.
It is very easy, Mr.
So it's easier than the first lesson in the percentage. Because in the first lesson, the percentage, you had to create the percent proportion. Do you remember A over B equals P over 100? And you have to identify who's gonna be A, who's gonna be B in that percentage. Well, in this case, you don't need to think about in the proportion because we have a formula, okay? May I, did you copy that already or not yet?
I'm in number 2, Mr.
Wait.
Okay, I'm going to, can you read perfectly well the whiteboard at that distance? ¿Pueden leer bien esto? Okay,
Yes.
right. Okay, meanwhile, I'm going to copy the number 3 over there. Don't worry, I'm going to start until you're finished.
Mr.
number
Just to finish copy the first part, in the says, after annual interest rate, what says there?
Where? Annual interest,
In the first one.
annual
Yes,
interest
that.
rate. Annual interest rate.
But
And this one,
after that.
T equals time in years.
Okay. That's the
Time
only
in
part
years.
I was missing. Thank you,
All right.
Mr.
My pleasure, my pleasure. All right. Okay. This is an interesting problem. It's so available, applicable, actually, if you have a vacations and you got a summer job. For example, in the example number 3, we have this situation. You get a summer job. Okay. You get a summer job. You get a summer job at a bakery. At a bakery. That means pastelería. O sea que usted consigue trabajo en una pastelería. All right, period. Suppose you save. Suppose you save $1,400. $1,400. Okay. Of your paid. And deposit it into an account that earns simple annual interest. Period. After 9 months, sorry. After 9 months.
Sorry to disturb, but can you move the camera a little bit to the right?
All right.
Yes.
Thanks for letting me know, because I'm changing the view in this monitor because I'm copying the textbook online. That's why. All right.
Thanks.
My pleasure. After 9 months, the balance the balance is $1,421. All right, $1,421. The question is, find the annual interest rate. Oops. Find the annual interest rate. This is so interesting problem. I'm going to approach the camera just a little bit. And see, you can read the word problem better. I think you can read the word problem better, right? Okay. We can imagine this situation. You got the summer job at the bakery. Te dan trabajo usted en una pastelería. And you're supposed to just save $1,400 or you're paid and deposit it into an account that earns some kind of simple annual interest rate. We don't know what is the percentage. The problem only mentioned that one. After 9 months, the balance will be $1,421. So for obviously reasons, the question is, what will be that interest rate? This is a curiosity. The first thing that we have to learn is, what does that mean, the word balance? What is that situation? Okay, when you're finished the problem number 3, let me know and I'm going to start to explaining the problem. Okay, because it's so important, you're going to learn this one because in your entire life, even though your kids, your children, you're going to growing up and you're going to have some kind of money, quantity of money to reach your hand, it's so important to learn the rulers, how you're going to manage your money. Okay, so that reason is so crucial. You must learn these applications. Okay, let me know when you're finished to copy the number 3. Did you finish?
No.
Once again, I'm going to read the problem once again. You get a summer job at the bakery. Suppose you save $1,400 on your paid and deposit it into the account that earns simple annual interest rate. After 9 months, the balance is $1,421. Find the annual interest rate. First of all, let's going to learn what is the concept of the balance of the account. All right, my dear students, the balance of the account is a simple concept. It's the addition between the principal and the simple interest rate or the interest. In simple merely words, I'm going to write like this definition if I were a formula. The letter A represents the balance of the account. And this is going to be equal the addition between the principal plus the simple interest. This is going to be the given formula from the balance of the account. All right, with the letter A represents the balance. Letter P represents the principal. And obviously, iota represents the simple interest. All right, this is going to be the meaning of this situation. Okay, and let's going to identify what are the given values on this formula. For example, at the beginning of the problem, the mention, suppose you save $1,400. What value is this one? Is the balance of the principal or the simple interest? Now, $1,400.
That's the value of the principal.
Exactly, because it's the quantity of money you're going to save on your payments, right? Excellent. For that reason, the principal will be $1,400. Okay, and deposit into an account that earns simple annual interest rate. After 9 months, this is the period of time. 9 months. 9 months. Okay. The balance, this situation balance, the letter A, will be $1,421. So the question is, find the annual interest rate. So simple merely words, they're asking for what will be the value from R. Okay, this is what we got. Okay, just at the beginning of the problem. How we can perform this situation. Okay, even though the problem never asking for what will be the simple interest rate, we can perfectly calculate that value before to looking for the interest rate. This is so different. Interest rate, remember the percentage, and the simple interest, the quantity of money going to supposed to earn after some period of time. And remember, we got this formula. The balance is equal the addition between the principal plus the interest. Okay. If you really want to know what will be the value from the interest, this letter P is adding, passes to subtracting. Perfect. A minus P equals iota. Okay. And the letter A, we're talking about 1,421 minus 1,400. And this is going to be the value from the interest. And if you subtract 1,421 minus 1,400, the answer will be $21. All right, perfect. $21. This is going to be the value from the interest. Sorry, but this marker, this is dying. I have to replace the ink, this marker. Well, now the next step, I can calculate the interest, I can use the formula for the interest rate. You know, interest rate will be equal to PRT. And because we are looking for the value from R, the letter P and T both are multiplying, passes to divide, right? For that reason, iota divided by P times T, that will be the value for R. But be careful, be careful. At the moment, we're going to replace those values. Remember, T represents what? Represents the period of time in years, right? In years. But if we analyze the problem says we got only 9 months. So before to use this formula, we have to change 9 months into years. All right. Would you like to tell me how many months do we have in one singular year? 12 months, right? Remember, this is a conversion unit. 1 year, we got 12 months. Yes or no? Okay. Yeah. So we can perfectly cancel the word months with the word months, and we can multiply 9 times 1 will be 9 over 12. And this is going to be the quantity of years. And we must divide, obviously, 9 over 12. And 9 divided by 12 is going to be 0.75 years. Yes or no? So this is less than a year. Now, because we know the period of time given in years, now we are fully prepared to apply the formula. So what is the value from iota? Remember, iota represented by $21. Okay, that will be divided by the principal. What is the value from the principal? $1,400, right? Multiplying by the period of time in years, 0.75. You don't need to write the word years, only the value. Remember, before to divide, we must do.
Mister, to
Yep.
find the part of decimal, the 0.75 years, what do you do? You
Divide
divide
9, divide 9 divided by 12.
Okay.
So before to continue to find out the interest rate, remember we must multiply first the values in the denominator. I mean 0.75 times 1,400. And the result will be, we must divide $21 divided by 1,050. And this is going to be the R value. Okay, remember, we must multiply first. And after that, we must divide. What we're going to divide? We're going to divide 21 divided by 1,050. And the result will be 0.02. 0.02 equals R. But remember, this is the decimal value given in R, but because the R value represents the,
So if you multiply,
we must
if you
multiply the
multiply it
answer.
by 100, and that will give you 2.
Exactly, perfectly. Well done, my dear student. You're right. So the annual interest rate in this case will be 2%. Well done. Because we have the R value given in decimals, well, this time we're going to do the opposite in whole numbers. And we must multiply by 100 because it's the base of the percentage of the number. Okay? Tomorrow we're going to, well, actually tomorrow we don't have classes. I don't know if you know that tomorrow we're going to have the values week or the values,
Yes.
well, we're going to continue solving interest problems on Monday. Okay, simple interest, a couple of the problems, and we're going to learn how to apply that compound interest rate. Okay, guys, thank you so much for your attendance. Have a great and wonderful day. Take care of yourself. Bye-bye.
Bye, Mister.
So long.
Mister, have a nice day.
Have a nice day too. Take care of yourself.